Mr. Spicoli, you're on dangerous ground here. You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
I've been thinking about this, Mr. Han. If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
It's Sunday morning on CBS. And here again is Jane Pauley.
The young Sean Penn gave as good as he got with the late Ray Walston in the 1982 film Fast Times at Ridgemont High. These days, Penn is looking beyond the world of movies, as he tells Tracy Smith, who has our Sunday profile.
Why did you choose, of all the places in the world that you could live, this spot?
Well, I'm 2 blocks from my 90-year-old mother here.
For Sean Penn, Malibu, California is more than just his current address. It's home. 40-something years ago, he was just another beach blonde local kid who surfed when he could and studied when he had to at Malibu Park Junior High. He even got himself elected as the boys' vice president.
Is there anything that you would tell this kid, if you could go back and tell this kid something, the young Sean Penn?
Yeah, there's a lot of things there's a lot of things I would tell him. Sure, you don't necessarily change so much, but you do collect a lot of information along the road.
So what would you tell him?
Here are the bad choices that you are going to make, and there's nothing that's going to stop you from making them. So let's see. But check out how funny it is. You know, you'll get through them, and everything will be all right.
And he's done okay.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
Young Sean Penn, of course, went on to create some of the most celebrated roles in cinematic history, with 5 Oscar nominations and 2 wins. First, as the anguished father of a murdered girl in Mystic River. And later, as California's first openly gay elected official in 2008's Milk.
And I'm here to recruit you.
But now, after nearly 40 years in the business, Sean Penn says the thrill is gone.
Do you still enjoy acting?
No.
That pains me to hear you say that.
It shouldn't. You know, I think that this has been true for some time. It can be great when you're working with good actors or good directors or good writing as an exercise. But do I have a belief that it has a lasting value? Maybe I could make the argument intellectually, but I don't have a visceral, I'm not in love with that anymore.
What he does seem to love is spending time here at home, cigarette in hand, putting thoughts on paper.
And no more typewriter. I don't do that anymore. I used to when it was a typewriter, but I don't know how to use a computer, so I do a lot of pacing, smoking, and dictating.
Come on, you don't know how to use a computer?
No. Just lazy.
Well, maybe not too lazy. Penn's just come out with his first novel, the dark comedy Bob Honey, Who Just Do Stuff, under an imprint of Simon & Schuster, a CBS company.
Stay there. Stay there.
Like his character in 2015's The Gunman, Penn's Bob Honey is an assassin. He just doesn't use a gun.
This is a septic tank salesman turned assassin who kills people with a mallet.
Yeah, I mean, everything is a metaphor for something.
But Penn's satire can also get pretty grim, like when Bob Honey sends a threatening letter to a make-believe president.
Do you worry that people won't get the joke?
You know, some people are going to get this book, and some people are not going to get this book. Some people, I think, will really enjoy it. Others will loathe it. And that really is like what I'd say about me, you know?
How many people are here now, do you know?
Loathe him or love him, Sean Penn is nearly as well known for his activism as his acting. There's the ongoing aid mission he founded in Haiti after the place was leveled in the 2010 earthquake. And before that, there was New Orleans in 2005, when Hurricane Katrina turned the city into a sodden mess, and anyone with a boat suddenly became a first responder, this reporter included. Penn also used a borrowed boat to rescue people trapped by the rising waters, not far from the New Orleans neighborhood where we met him last month.
It's got to be cool to feel like you were a part of that.
Well,
a little part of it, you know?
Well, at least that I wasn't not a part of it.
Do you have any idea how many people you rescued?
We had 40 people we were able to get out of the water on our first day.
Of course, his humanitarian work is often drowned out by the tabloid babble, like the persistent story about Penn taking a baseball bat to his then-wife Madonna back in the 1980s. So, in 2015, when director Lee Daniels told The Hollywood Reporter that a star on his show accused of spousal abuse wasn't doing anything, quote, different than Marlon Brando or Sean Penn, Penn sued him for defamation, and Daniels wound up apologizing.
Why did you feel, when there's so much stuff out there about you, a lot of which is untrue, why did you feel like you needed to take a stand when Lee Daniels said that about you?
There was a story which involved violence against a woman in my life. And
Madonna.
yeah, and which never, not only did this insane, hitting someone in the head with a baseball bat story never happened, but no violence had happened. And which, she was very quick to say also. And for me, it was an important thing, because I'm not a guy quick to, try to litigate things, and I don't want to spend my life in depositions. But in this case, it was important.
Sean Penn's latest role, El Chapo's Hollywood connection.
Then there was the uproar over his 2015 meeting with escaped drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman.
Do you wish that you never did it? That you never met with El Chapo?
No, I don't. Look, I have regrets, but I don't go back and say I wish I didn't do something. I would have liked a greater conversation about the demand side of this so-called war on drugs. And I thought, that there's another kind of conversation. That it got turned into a kind of sensationalized sideshow, was discouraging.
But if Sean Penn is disillusioned with Hollywood, it hasn't seemed to rub off. Hopper Jack and Dylan, the son and daughter he had with his ex-wife Robin Wright, are both actors themselves. And Dad still has projects in the works. He just says it might be time for him to exit the stage.
I mean, I'm sorry to harp on this, but people love your acting work. Is there a part of you that mourns the idea that that's gone? That you're just going to give that up?
No, things can kind of morph. Since I was probably 30, I've had intermittent offers to write a memoir. My magic number would be something like 77. Maybe then if somebody's got a story to tell it then.
By the way, you said memoir at 77. We just talked to Herman Wouk not too long ago. He did his at 100. So you could even wait that long, really.
I'm not sure.
Do you feel the effects of those things?
Sure, they're terrible. Yeah.
So come on, you have incredible will, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm going to stop them.
When?
Don't know.
How many times have you said that?
It's a conversation I have with myself throughout most of every day.
Do you really think you will quit eventually?
I hope to. And I hope to write another book. And I hope to live another day.